You've smelled this before. No, not that. The earthy scent when rain first kisses the dry ground, when the heat breaks and the world exhales. That smell that makes your breath catch and your memories stir. You don't know where it takes you, but it takes you. That scent, it has a name, and it's a word as beautiful as the experience itself. Petrichor. This is Wordbite, and today we're diving into the poetry, science, and emotional spell woven into one word. A word you've inhaled without even knowing it. A word that would change how you describe memory, atmosphere, and grief. This is Wordbite, and this is Petrichor. I'm Lynx, indie author, comic artist, and game dev, and if you enjoy learning the lore behind the language we use every day, or the philosophy behind the punctuation which shapes how we communicate, do me a favour, do the algorithmy things. Click subscribe if you want to follow along on the journey, and if you get something out of these videos, do me a favour and give it a like. And if you'd like to be notified whenever I drop a new video, which is just about every day, hit the bell and it will let you know when a new video is queued up. Alright, let's get back into the video. What is Petrichor? The definition and the feeling. Petrichor, pronounced Petrichor, is a term for the earthy scent produced by the rain when it falls on dry soil. It's not just a smell though. It's relief, nostalgia, the earth breathing again. This word describes a scent, but what it feels like is far more personal. You might smell petrichor and remember your childhood backyard, the first time you cried in the rain, the moment you felt safe again after the chaos. It's atmospheric, it's emotional, and it's alive. The science of petrichor, what you're actually smelling. This is where it gets geeky and magical. The scent of petrichor comes from geosmin, an organic compound produced by soil-dwelling bacteria called actinomycetes. When it rains after a dry spell, rain hits the dry soil. Geosmin is released into the air. Oils from the plants and bacteria become aerosolized, and your brain goes, whoa! Humans are incredibly sensitive to geosmin. We can detect it at parts per trillion. Why? Maybe because recognizing the smell of water after drought was evolutionary gold. This is survival and story wrapped into one sensory bow. The etymology, ancient roots and modern coinage. Okay, let's break down the word. Petrichor was coined in 1964 by Australian scientists Isabel Joy Baer and Richard Thomas. They combined petra, the Greek for stone, and ichor, the ethereal fluid that flows in the veins of the gods. So literally, petrichor means the blood of the stone. The god's blood of the stone. Let that sit for a minute. The next time it rains and the world smells like something divine, you'll know why. Because the ground isn't just wet, it's bleeding godhood into the air. At least linguistically it is. Now, why this word resonates emotionally. Petrichor is scientific, but it feels mythic, because smell is the strongest sense linked to memory. When you smell petrichor, you remember things you didn't know you'd forgotten. You feel a soft mourning, that return to a version of yourself that no longer exists. It's more than nostalgia, it is time travel by scent. Writing craft. How to use petrichor in fiction. So writers, this is one of the most emotionally loaded sensory cues you can use. Here's how. When you're scene setting, use petrichor to signal mood shift. Character memory triggers can be linked to a person, a moment, or a trauma. As symbolism, you can pair it with emotional clarity or fresh starts. And as contrast, you can mix it with devastation. For example, the smell of rain after a funeral. Don't just say, it started raining. Say, the air turned soft with Petrichor, and she knew it was time to go home. Use it to evoke, and use it to unearth. Petrichor in poetry, pop culture, and lyrical language. Petrichor shows up in poetry, rain equals rebirth, transformation, and memory. Song lyrics like By Bon Hiver, Lord Huron, and Sleeping at Last. Novels as emotional backdrop, The Secret Garden, Norwegian Wood, and The Road. It is everywhere once you know the word, because everyone wants to describe that smell, but only one word really does it justice. Petrichor and grief. Rain as a soft elegy. So there's something solemn about Petrichor. It is, for example, rain after drought, scent after silence. It is the earth exhaling through pain. When writing about grief, you can use Petrichor as a sign someone is finally releasing emotion, as a reminder that healing doesn't erase the dryness, it waters it, and as proof that something remains after everything else is gone. Rain smells different when you're mourning. And now you know why. Digital words and sensory loss, the absence of Petrichor. Here's a weird part. You can watch a rainstorm online, but you can't smell it. Petrichor reminds us of what we lose when we leave the sensory world. In the metaverse, there is no Petrichor, no scent memory, no past through smell, which makes this word a bit urgent. You see, you either notice it now or never. When it rains, remember. You are made of dust, memory, and breath, and so is this world. Petrichor is the moment that reminds you that Earth is alive, and that a story, your story, is still unfolding. And that after the dry spell, scent and the moisture that cultivates it returns. And with it, so too do you. I'm Lynx, and this has been Wordbite. Now, next time it rains, inhale and remember, what you're smelling is the scent of the gods. Let that sink in. And now you know. I'll see you next time in this video, right here.